everybody, we're out here at Glen Helen today introducing KTM's 2024 350 EXC-F model, and it's things new from the ground up, and it really fits a group of people who are not into competitive racing or competition, but just want to go have fun on a motorcycle on something that's incredibly versatile. And that's the big word I would use to describe this thing, because whether you're cruising your local streets, around town, you want to do a little short trip, even on the highway, or if you want to get into some aggressive trails and off-road, this thing can handle it. This is the bike for you. So we'll go over some of the things that are new on this thing, but it's really from the ground up, a brand new machine. And the frame, subframe, all brand new. Frame is a chromoly designed to just have a little bit better flex characteristic, a little bit softer, cushier ride. The subframe is two different parts. It's polyamide and aluminum. The aluminum giving it a little more rigidity, to a little more stability. And then the composite is sort of a material that will bend, but come back to its original shape. So you're not always worrying about bending the subframe if you crash. It does have the exact suspension, WP's stuff. This is back to a spring fork from the Air that they had gone to for a while. And what's really nice about this suspension, front and rear, it's all toolless adjustments. So your compression and rebound can all be done with just your fingers out on the ride, which happens a lot, you know. You get into some really sharp, choppy stuff, you can soften it up, and then if the riding terrain changes, you firm it right back up, no problem. So great stuff there. The bodywork's all different. It's got an LED headlight, gripper seat, a more comfortable rider triangle. This bike also comes in an iteration, two-stroke iterations. They've got a 150, 250, and a 300, all throttle body injection in those as well. So they're really providing a bike for everybody, 300, 500, and then all those two-stroke lines as well. And I think what's really most important here on this bike is that it is compliant in 50 states. So you can plate this motorcycle anywhere across the US. That is not the case with a lot of, you know, dual sport bikes or off-road bikes. The ones that are geared a little more towards competition, you cannot get those plated in California, and that's going to become a problem for a lot of states over time. Unfortunately, California kind of sets the tone for emission standards and things like that, and it's already illegal to sell a green sticker here in California for anything that isn't street legal. And so, you know, I've tried to look into the future of this. If they don't repeal anything or walk anything back, the only thing you'll be able to ride in any sort of recreational riding area is a dual sport. So this is an important segment, and that's why we're going to pay some attention to it. All right, since I'm still on the mend with a little hand injury, I've got one of our test riders, Adam Persitza, jumped in, helped today. And you've never really ridden dual sports, you said?
No, this is my first time on one, so it was a lot of fun. Very different, but yeah, this is a fun bike to ride.
Well, one of the cool things about these is if you have riding areas near you, you don't have to load up and go through that whole procedure. You just fill her up with gas and head out your driveway to the track.
Yeah.
And you know, the question is, and a lot of these come set up with a pretty street-friendly tire. You can find more of a knobby tire that will wear out quickly if you're riding a lot of blacktop, but makes this thing really handle like a dirt bike in the dirt. But just in stock trim, I wanted to get your feedback on it and what you thought.
Yeah, I mean, it was a lot of fun. I anticipated it being heavier, like maybe a little more awkward feeling compared to just a straight motocross bike, but I took it out at the vet track here, and actually it felt really comfortable. Like, I had the chance to ride a FC350 probably 6 months ago, and really it felt very similar as far as the layout. Like, the rider triangle is really nice. Even me, I'm 6'1", probably a little taller with boots, so that felt nice. It didn't, even with the oversized tank, didn't feel overly heavy, like I couldn't steer very well. Definitely the tires, that would be the biggest thing. I made a joke that maybe I ride with a lot of ball tires because it didn't feel like the grip was so bad, but you just have to carry momentum, kind of maybe do a little bit more outside and just not too hard on the brakes and trying to throttle out. But the gear ratios, obviously not as nice on the track, but way better rideability doing the off-road, on the street, those kinds of things. Like, yeah, I think it's a great bike.
Well, and just from the sidelines, you looked really comfortable. You're jumping the big tabletop coming out of the Rattlesnake Gulch or whatever they call it back there.
Yeah.
Does it, I mean, do you think with some knobby tires you could just get out there and moto? Like,
oh,
no
yeah,
problem?
I think absolutely. If it had better or just appropriate tires for the track, I would feel comfortable getting on it on the inside corners and all that stuff. That's where I like, all right, I would go maybe outside where normally I'd cut in on a motocross bike just so I could carry the momentum, especially coming up to jumps. So a little less confidence with these tires on inside ruts, but yeah, if you swapped it out for more of a moto friendly, it'd be easy to ride on the track.
Did you ever use your horn when you passed anybody?
You know, I forgot to.
Blinkers?
I left it on at one point because I didn't know how to turn it off.
These things are super comfortable. It's got a speedometer, odometer up front here. And like I said, the suspension's adjustable just on the fly with your hands. You could, while you're riding, probably not recommended, but you could be reaching up in the shock and change your compression on the fly. So that's a really cool feature. You know, like I said, the design of these is versatility.
Mm-hmm.
So whether you want to run to the grocery store, or run some errands around town, or, you know, jump the local railroad tracks, I don't know. I mean, whatever you want to do, this thing's game. And it's just fun to show that it's capable of riding to a motocross track and actually doing some laps. Clearly not what it's designed for, but it's capable.
Yeah, and that's where I'd say the big difference, right? Motocross bikes are all about peak performance, especially these days in stock trim, they're really good. Where this is still great performance, but you can tell it's more the rideability and reliability kind of version of it. So like I said, the 6-speed transmission on a 4-stroke, never ridden anything like that. Very wide, but very easy. It's not going to break out underneath you unless you really drop the clutch and rev it high. So yeah, I feel like it won't get out of control, and you can really keep this thing in line and predictable for where you're going with it.
Yeah, and that wider ratio transmission lets you in first gear really chug tight trails, or in sixth, you can buzz down the freeway at a pretty good clip.
Oh yeah.
Well, it's an awesome bike. It's all brand new for 2024. Thanks for coming and showing us how it looks, giving us some laps on it. I appreciate it. And these are available at your KTM dealer right now. So if you are in the market, like I said, they do come in a 350 or 500. I guess that's one other thing I would ask you. Did you ever feel like you wanted more? It's definitely quiet. When I hear you go by, it sounds like a scooter. I mean,
and as someone who, like I've mentioned before, rides mainly 2-strokes where they're loud, and I kind of like the quieter. It's nice. I feel a lot more comfortable on it. I don't feel like the bike's going to get crazy. And no, I felt like I just had a shift in different spots, but I was able to, I did one of the jumps on the back coming out of a sweeping corner, and I had no issues with it. So it was good power still.
Awesome. Well, they're great bikes. Check them out at your local KTM dealer. And thanks for watching. We'll see you guys real soon. We've got some other projects planned for these. So if you like what you see, subscribe to our channel. Continue watching, like, share with your friends. We'll see you next time.